Herzlich willkommen zu der allerletzten Folge Hellblade Senua Sacrifice. Viel Spaß mit der Folge, es wird wirklich crazy.
It's not like the old stories, is it? The noble warrior facing evil in search of victory and honor. Clear dividing lines. No. Oh, this place is not quite like that. It's as if it knows that true torment lies within. Memories you cannot defeat, cannot escape.
Wollte noch nicht rein.
This is her hell.
Okay, aber der war sich da zum Glück gestoppt. Das alle, die ich eingesammelt habe bis jetzt.
Mother! Don't see me like this. No. Turn away, Senua! Turn away, Senua!
Do you see it, Senua? Do you see the darkness? Faces fear and suffering. You can see it.
I remember it clearly now.
She has nothing to fear anymore. The gods have saved your mother. Through my hand.
You killed her.
It is the will of the gods.
Fuck the gods! You
Oh.
did this to her! Why?
This is what happens when you listen to the voices of the underworld. They crawl into your soul and rot you from the inside. Defy the gods like your mother, and the darkness will come for you too. Do you understand, Senua?
I do understand. You cursed me with your own madness. I was just a child. You created this darkness! You created this darkness so you could hide behind it!
Only suffering brings salvation. It is the way of the gods.
What the fuck?
It was all a lie. You are a lie! She didn't defy the gods. She defied you. And so you killed her.
You didn't pray to the gods. You prayed to your mother. Your mother, who was too weak to fight the darkness and abandoned you.
You tortured her. You killed her. You are the darkness.
Ich bin aber ausgewichen.
Years of isolation, the pain that still haunts you. It was the only way to fight the curse within you.
You're a liar.
The darkness is inside you, let me destroy you.
You're a liar!
No, Senua. The darkness is here. You cannot wish it away. And it will watch as you draw the last dying gasp.
I won't let you kill me! Ah!
Hä?
Watch out. Careful.
Junge, wie mad die ist, die macht so viel Schaden. Ich konnte gerade alles. Oh mein Gott. Aber ich kann nicht sterben.
I can see through your darkness. You're a liar and a murderer. And if you really are Hela, then I have a sword here that can kill a god.
Look at you. Running forward and moving backwards to wallow in your miserable past. You're making a mistake searching for Dillion. The same mistake that killed him in the first place. I'm trying to save you from yourself. You still believe it is a lie? The plague of darkness, the butchering of Dillion by the Northmen. You saw it yourself.
You told everyone I was cursed. They believed you. I believed you.
Tell me, Senua, where is Dillion's soul if the darkness is alive? How you saved him?
He's here. I know he's here. Dillion, I know you're here. Hold on. I'll find you.
Das sind die anderen Götter, die ich besiegt habe. Dur und der Vogel. Und das Biest. getötet.
Dillion! Where is he? You're trying to trick me again with your lies. I know he's here. You took him from me. You have him.
Dillion is gone. Dillion is dead. Let him go. I'm warning you.
For what? What can you do to me that you haven't already?
You betrayed
Fight
your
me.
own father.
Come
You
on.
approached the gods in search of Dillion, in search of love. Look where that's got you. Let go of your battle. Let go of redemption. Let
Nein, ich lasse hier gar nichts go. Wie sie geht's ja alles.
Don't let your darkness hurt anyone else.
Behind you.
Ich will gucken, ob ich ihm Schaden zufügen kann, aber da die Kamera das mir nicht erlaubt, gehe ich davon nicht aus. Boah, ich sehe ich viel. Meine Herren. So, komm. Ah, die Musik ist aber auch cool.
Watch out. Behind you. Watch out.
Ich block auch gar nicht mehr. Okay. Hätte ich da vielleicht gesollt.
Behind you. Watch out.
Okay. Aber du stehst jetzt auf, weil wir sind noch irgendwie mal am Dings aufdecken.
Behind you. Behind you.
Ah, ich töte ihn langsam irgendwie. So, komm, jetzt. Ja, komm, kill. Oh Mann, dieser Typ, warum greift er mit an? Junge, what the fuck ist das für ein Game, Mann? Jetzt bin ich wieder bei der Aussage. Eben noch so, ja, kannst du es verenden, jetzt bin ich bei what the fuck ist das? So, jetzt komm her, Schnauze.
Be careful, Senua. Watch out. Careful. Behind you.
So, jetzt wieder. Weg, warte, komm, mach weg, mach weg. Danke. Ja, mach weg. Ja, mach weg. Ja, weg. Weg. Besonders schnell weg, weil ich dich am allermeisten hasse. Danach kommst du. Die kleinen Dinger seid okay. Dann die mit Schild noch ziemlich scheiße.
Behind you.
Alter.
Behind you.
Alter, ich bin da oft zieht von irgendwas, wird zurückgestoßen von irgendetwas. Das ist schon hier.
You're going to die. You're killing yourself.
So.
Behind you. Behind you.
Ich kann das nicht behind me, Mann!
Watch out.
Ich kann es nicht outwatchen. Ich muss töten. Leute, der rennt an einen Tag gehabt, die ich vorher noch nie gesehen habe.
Be careful, Senua. Watch out. Careful. Let go, Senua.
Nein.
You're going. Watch out. Careful, Senua. Watch out.
Zack. Zack.
Careful.
Bin ich jetzt mal fertig hier?
Behind you. Behind you.
Ja, ich bin die ganze Zeit nur. Ich sehe ja nicht mehr richtig was.
Battle.
Nein, ich let it not go.
Let go of Dillion. Stop. You're killing yourself.
Ja, das ist es so. Man soll sterben! Ah.
If you're alive, and there's no darkness, then you never took him from me, did you? And I can't save Dillion. Is that what you want me to believe? After all you've done to me? And to him?
You're not a lie, but you're a liar! You crawled into me to confuse me and deceive me. But I know he's here. I know you have him. I'll give you my life. That's what you want, isn't it? My soul. Take it. I'll be a slave for you. I'll fight with you at Ragnarok. If you release it. No power over me.
I learned the hard way to not be afraid of death, Senua. Because a life without loss is one without love. You turn your back on death, and all you can see is the shadow that it casts. The longer you hide from it, the longer the shadow grows until all you can see is darkness. When our time comes, we must look death in the eye and embrace it as a friend. Only then can we let go of our fear. And emerge from our darkness.
Never forget what it is like to see the world as a child, Senua. Every autumn leaf is like a work of art. Every rolling cloud a moving picture. Every day a new story. We too emerge from this magic, like a wave from the ocean, only to return to the sea. Do not mourn the waves, the leaves, and the clouds. Even in darkness, the wonder and the beauty of this world never leaves us. It is always there, waiting to be seen again.
Oh no. Oh. It's the rot. The darkness is back. The darkness is back. Wait. What is it? It feels... It's different. It feels... It's okay. Is it okay?
This is where my story once began.
It's different.
And so it has to end here,
It's changed.
because I cannot see further than this.
Follow us. We have another story to tell.
My friend, go with her. This now will be your story to witness. Goodbye.
What the fuck?
How mixed up you feel, hoping what you need.
Alter.
Each time you get hurt, I don't want you to change.
Ah.
Everyone has hopes. You're human after all. The feeling sometimes wishing you were someone else. Feeling as though you never belong.
Nicht schlecht.
Feeling is not sadness. This feeling is
Meine These von der Frau bleibt logisch, also bleibt immer noch bestehen, dass ich sage, jetzt hat sich mittendrin ein bisschen zu sehr gezogen. Aber das Ende ist ja krass. So die Moral zu sagen, man muss das Alte loslassen und vorangucken. So, es gibt überall das Tolle, das ist auch nicht weg. In der Dunkelheit, man muss es nur wieder angucken, so nach dem Motto. Was nicht sehr einfach ist, aber möglich. Wow. Ist das so eine nicht skippbare Cutscene? Ja. Na gut, wer sie sehen möchte, hier. Es gibt bei der Welt 2 Leute für die Musik. Weil in dem Spiel so viel Musik vorkam, nämlich am Ende. Stunt-Performers. Wie viele Menschen daran beteiligt sind. Was ist denn Welcome? Können-Partner Epic Games. Nvidia. Nur 6 Programmierer. Einen 3D-Artist? Okay. Haben die jetzt... Das ist nicht so... Haben die jetzt das die kürzer als die Katzen gemacht? Ich weiß nicht, was ist denn da noch irgendwas? Ich möchte das jetzt sehen. Ich bleib noch. Ich kann das aber jetzt cutten, aber das juckt, glaube ich, keinen. Special Thanks gehen by the way zu Dan, Daniel, David und Dana. So, special thanks to all of our fans and supporters for making Hellblade possible. Weitere Informationen zu Psychosen und seelischen Problemen findest du unter... Das war jetzt wichtig, das am Ende der Credits zu schreiben. Nachdem ich jetzt, keine Ahnung, 4-5 Minuten Credits geguckt habe. Danke. Was passiert jetzt? Ich komme jetzt aber ins Hauptmenü. Hallo? Wow. Es fehlen tatsächlich ein paar von diesen Dingssteinen. Was ist das hier? Das wollte ich noch gucken.
Stormy seas and lost souls. She's dreamt of this before.
It's coming. Is it?
They say dreams are visions of our memories, thoughts and fears, as seen by our inner eye. But what if each one of us is always dreaming, even when awake? And we only see what our inner eye creates for us. Is this what hell is? A world shaped by Senua's nightmares. Maybe that's why people fear seeing the world through her eyes.
Yes, she's scared.
Because if you believe that Senua's reality is twisted, you must accept that yours might be too.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is a video game about Senua, a Celtic warrior on a vision quest into Viking territory. But what sets our hero Senua apart is that she suffers from severe psychotic mental illness.
He knows she's getting closer. He can feel her coming closer. She's getting
The original idea for Hellblade was to create a classic hero's journey, a journey of suffering, but one where the fantasy world is not another planet or alternate universe, but a world that is constructed in Senua's mind. But to do so would mean putting psychotic mental illness at the center of the experience, a subject that is still considered taboo, and a challenge that was both terrifying and exciting in equal measure. In Hellblade, the starting point was a newly discovered Celtic goddess called Senua in Ashwell, Hertfordshire. When first discovered, her name was thought to be Senua, a name which I liked and kept. I wondered if Senua might have been a Celtic warrior like Boudica who stood up to the Romans. While the Romans had conquered all of Europe, there was a group of Celts up in the furthest reaches of the Roman Empire that could not be conquered, the Picts. And so the Romans built a wall, called Hadrian's Wall, that spans across Britain from sea to sea to keep the Pictish barbarians at bay. The Picts were known for their war paint, painted on with woad, and their matted hair clumped with lime. and so Senua would be a barbarian picked in this image.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't live home much.
Oh, Zeno's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait.
Orkney is off the coast of Scotland and was inhabited by the Picts, steeped in history and mystery, and so I made Orkney Senua's home and set the stage for a crisis. In the late 8th century, the first Vikings landed on the Orkney Islands. The population of the Picts crashed thereafter, replaced by the Norsemen of the 9th century. Were they wiped out? We don't know for sure, but it would seem likely given the reputation of the Vikings. The Northmen's brutality is legendary. High-ranking leaders and chieftains of the tribes they conquered were often offered as sacrifice to their gods. The most brutal of these sacrifices was known as the Blood Eagle. I imagine Senua as a young female warrior who
Weil der wäre richtig schlimm. Also wenn ich das ganz verstehe, dann macht man, glaube ich, am Rücken oder Bauch halt einen Schnitt und nimmt halt die Haut und spannt sie halt dann quasi auf beiden Seiten halt dementsprechend auf. Das sieht man ja auch da. Ja. Es gibt viele sinnlose Dinge zu sterben. Das ist wohl einer der sinnlosesten.
returns home from exile to find her partner, Dillion, brutally sacrificed to a Norse god by these hellish warriors from a faraway land. I imagine the horror of this moment and how it would have dragged her deep into mental torment.
No!
I came to learn that the Celts had a sophisticated and nuanced perspective on the nature of mental disorder. One term they used was gelt. A gelt is a man or woman who has been driven mad by a curse, battle trauma, or grief. The gelt would take to a life in the woods in search of penance, punishment, and purgation. And so Senua became a gelt, cursed by darkness, looking for redemption in the wilds. Another word the Celts used in reference to mental disorders was truth, meaning
Das habe ich mir mal überlegt, wie die diese Szenen machen. Ich habe mir überlegt, ob es dann einfach nur animiert Effekt ist oder ob sie es ernst aufnehmen. Und wenn ernst aufnehmen hätte sogar funktioniert.
fool,
Sieht man ja
or
auch.
one who utters the words of God. They tell of the mad sinner who flees battle into exile and takes on a beastly nature, growing feathers on his body. The character called Truth in Hellblade is based on a little-known person called Findet, an 8th century Irish Celt who was captured and enslaved by the Vikings, but eventually escaped to Orkney where he became a monk.
I will tell you my stories of hell, if I may walk with you.
Upon meeting Senua, it would be his stories that fuel her quest deep into their world of gods.
The Northmen say the world will come to an end. The sun will grow black, the earth will sink into the sea, the stars will disappear, fire and water will meet, flames will play against the sky, the heavens and earth and all the world will be burned, all the gods will be dead, and the warriors of Valhalla and people everywhere. Senua, prepare yourself for Ragnarok, for it is nigh.
So the stage was set for a new adventure, a journey into the Norse underworld called Hell, a vision quest fueled.
Das ist ganz cool. Das habe ich mal gesehen in dem Video. Ich bin ja mal dazu informiert. Die haben halt basically diese ganzen Bewegungen, die man sieht, halt ernsthaft halt gemacht. Der versucht zu tracken, wie man es halt hier sieht, und dann halt quasi ins Spiel importiert. Heißt, die Bewegungen die sehen auch sehr realistisch aus. Ist halt unter anderem so, weil sie halt realistisch sind.
By madness and myth, a fantasy that was created by Senua's own mind and one that we would experience through her eyes.
This is your mission. This is your quest. There is nothing else left.
To make a game about a warrior with psychotic mental illness as its central theme was fraught with danger. Mental illness such as psychosis is still taboo and rarely acknowledged in a century of cinema, never mind the new medium of games. Where it does feature, it often conflates psychosis and psychopathy associated with a lack of empathy. It is unfortunate that these two words sound so similar that they are used interchangeably in media. I must admit that I didn't have to look very far to discover my own ignorance of the subject. So we reached out to Paul Fletcher, psychiatrist and professor of health neuroscience at University of Cambridge.
Psychosis is a descriptive term, and it refers to having a loss of contact with objective reality. So it's characterized by two main sets of symptoms. One of them is hallucinations, where somebody experiences perceptions when there is no actual object.
Man muss aber mit dem Begriff objektiv in der Realität sehr aufpassen, aber er geht davon aus, was die normale Realität halt ist.
Thing out there to perceive.
Who are you?
And the other is delusions, where somebody comes to very often bizarre, unpleasant, frightening beliefs when there's no good evidence in favor of them.
There's no doubt about it. The source of the darkness is in Helheim. And the goddess Hela holds his soul there.
We reached out to Welcome, a biomedical research charity that spends billions on research and awareness programs aimed at improving health.
Mental health hasn't always been presented in the media in a way that is particularly helpful. It can be challenging to engage people with the subject matter, and there are a lot of preconceived ideas about mental health, and particularly schizophrenia and psychosis. So we hope our support allows the team to continue to collaborate with Paul Fletcher and with those who have experience of psychosis to create a game that provides a fresh perspective on the condition and allows audiences to engage with it in a way that just wouldn't be possible in any other medium.
What started out as a brief consultation convinced me that we were only scratching the surface of an immensely deep and interesting subject that could enrich and change the very nature of the game.
That's cool. Thanks so much for coming here.
Pleasure. Thanks. It's really interesting for me. I'd love to be involved. I think it's fascinating. Absolutely.
Our understanding of psychosis is still very much a mystery, and ways of treating it are still primitive compared to physical illness. After all, it is easy to see the pain and suffering caused by physical diseases or physical trauma. It is not so easy to see the mental suffering and trauma of severe mental illness. But what if we could find a way to see it? Games are capable of drawing you in for hours on end, playing the role of a character who is different from you, experiencing their perspective, and actively involving you in a world that functions with a different set of rules. If we were to represent Senua's psychosis, we would have to simulate voice hearing, a common attribute. But how can we simulate something we have no first-hand experience of? Professor Charles Fernyhough, a leading expert in voice hearing from Durham University, offered his help.
Hearing voices is an experience that is usually associated with severe mental illness, and crucially we know that hearing voices is a part of ordinary life for many people who don't meet the criteria for mental illness.
Yeah. Oh, that's not him in real life.
We know voices vary according to where they appear in space. Voices can appear far away in the distance, they can appear right there in your ear, they can seem to be coming from inside your head.
Based on the information Professor Fernyhough provided, I put together a sound brief and invited some actors to the studio. We recorded the actors using a binaural microphone, which records the 3D spatial position of sound, replicating the way sound is heard by human ears. It gives you an incredible sense that the person you are listening to is right there beside you.
Can't see how she's going.
Rachel Waddingham from the Voice Collective came to our studio with two young voice hearers to speak to our team. We talked at length about their experiences, and they listened to our tests, giving us feedback on how we could improve on it.
Everyone hates her. She's cursed.
It's very hard to represent what this experience is like, partly because it's such a personal, intense, emotional experience. It's testament.
Das ist echt cool. Weil das ist schon sehr interessant, aber keine Ahnung, wie es wirklich funktioniert, aber es ist schon crazy. Ich bin froh, dass ich darunter nicht leide.
To how Ninja Theory have been listening to what the researchers are saying, but also crucially listening to the experts by experience. What they've come up with is so compelling. It's by far the best representation I've heard of what these experiences are like.
Okay, also wir haben schon das Beste gemacht von allen, also nee, aber ich könnte voll, also gerne mal öfter so Reaction-Videos machen, weil das ist nämlich sehr viel Arbeit, sich hinzusetzen und ein Video anzugucken und dabei was zu sagen. Nee, aber es ist schon cool, es macht irgendwie Spaß, aber trotzdem fühlt sich ein bisschen faul und falsch an, damit irgendetwas an Geld oder so, wenn ich damit Geld verdienen würde, zu generieren oder alleine schon Reichweite oder whatever. Ich bekomme dafür ja was und das ist ja doof. Bei den Videos von anderen das zu machen.
Other common attributes of psychosis are visions and flashbacks. We met with Recovery College East, who work with and care for people recovering from severe mental disorders. A group of service users gave us their first-hand account of what they experience.
Sometimes when the vision or what we're seeing is too much, it becomes more difficult until eventually we perhaps don't see anything.
The people we spoke to, the stories they told, were fascinating, harrowing and mind-boggling. The reality of what people experienced was vivid, far exceeding what I could possibly have imagined. We went away itching to represent some of these visions and flashbacks in the game.
As we all know, my heart is so, love is so far away. Don't you know how I wanna feel deeper? I could never know how you grow, all these days are killing me. Now I see deep in me insanity does unfold. I just wanna feel deeper, deeper. I just wanna feel deeper, deeper. As we all know, my heart is so, love is so far away. Don't you know how I wanna feel deeper? I could never know how you grow, all these days are killing me. Feel like this, read like this, I just wanna live, that's all. I just wanna feel deeper, deeper. I just wanna feel deeper, deeper.
To refine our work, we continue to hold meetings with Recovery College East over the course of a year and a half, showing them what we had achieved so far and refining the in-game representations based on their feedback. With their help, flashbacks, visions and changes in perception were woven into the story and gameplay of Senua.
The students that are involved in this project are incredibly excited about being involved. They have described the experience as being important because it values their lived experience and shows that despite what we have been through, all of that experience becomes valid, that actually it's something that we should all be talking about.
The experiences described range from beautiful to frightening beyond comprehension. I heard of a girl who has to
Okay, die Untertitel passen überhaupt nicht mehr aufs Video, by the way.
live with an angry voice screaming at her, slamming on her doors and walls 24 hours a day. I met someone who would often see hanging corpses in a room, so real that she would sometimes try to rescue them. The panic and fear that comes with such visions is entirely understandable, and it can be a living horror for some.
Worthless, weak, pathetic. Go on, feel sorry for yourself, because there is no one left to do that for you.
I was urged by one fellow that we should not shy away from showing this horror, and so I was perpetually torn in making Hellblade. Had we gone too far with our representation of?
Ich muss mal raustappen.
And lost. Just like your soul.
Come on.
In some ways, voice hearing and visions were the low-hanging fruit, so to speak. There's another aspect of psychosis that is much harder to explain, but one that I think video games are uniquely able to represent, which are often called delusions.
People begin to see patterns in the world. They begin to link things that most people wouldn't link. Most of the things that we might think would be coincidence or, you know, not worth commenting on. Nevertheless, that
Okay, ich würde auf jeden Fall sagen, das kann man sich das auch noch selbst angucken, das wird es auf YouTube geben. Ich guck mal. Aber ansonsten, ja, das war's dann mit dem Let's Play von Senua. Das war alles. Wir sind fertig. Insane. Das Spiel war schon insane, war schon crazy, hat sich mittendrin aber auch schon gezogen, aber trotzdem, das Ende war schon ziemlich krass. Was wir erlebt haben, ist auch insane. Also das Spiel ist schon ziemlich decent. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich das jetzt zum Spielen empfehlen würde. Ich würde sagen, Let's Play reicht auf jeden Fall zum Gucken. Ja, das ist jetzt nicht unbedingt meins, aber ja. Aber das Spiel ist auch nochmal was anderes. Also, man muss nicht das ganze Spiel spielen, damit man das erlebt hat, aber mindestens die ersten Stunde oder so, damit man mal diese Stimmen und so hört und so. Das ist, glaube ich, in dem Video gar nicht so gut vorstellbar. Vor allem, weil ich es auch leiser gemacht habe. Bewusst, damit man auch mich hört, beziehungsweise es nicht übersteuert. Aber ja, das war dann Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Vielen Dank fürs Ansehen und dann schauen bis zum nächsten Projekt.